good. We can cut this out.
Did 4 hours, 20 minutes.
Okay.
Now it's just 20 minutes.
Okay. Cool. If you want to move a little more, like, I'm just trying to get the frame. Okay. Well, welcome to our third session. I appreciate you coming here and carving out time from, school and just spending time, like, making music and everything to be here. And I'm just curious about how you've been feeling last couple sessions in general and how you've been feeling since then.
Yeah, I feel good that I finally have a place to kind of let this all go. It's actually been kind of nice, but at the same time, it's bringing up a lot of conflict within myself, where I'm kind of realizing a lot of things, or these harder feelings are starting to bubble up again, and I don't know. It's been a mix of good and also just a lot of confusion, and sometimes I don't really know what to say to my parents. When they all go, "Oh, how was session?" Like I don't want to tell them what I was talking shit about them or anything. Excuse my language, but I don't know. It's been good. I think I'm still kind of struggling at school because all of this stuff is coming up again. It's a little hard to focus and kind of failed my last test. So
okay. So what is like bubbling up and coming up for you as you're working through a lot of what we're talking about in our sessions?
yeah, well, when we talk about just kind of like how like my anger, I start sitting with my anger and just like, I don't know, I feel kind of embarrassed about it, that I am such an angry person, like I don't want to be. So I kind of feel things like, am I a bad person for being an angry person? Is it my fault? Things like that.
Yeah, like are you a bad person? Like that's something that's been coming up a lot, and that feeling of anger. Well, would you say that a lot of this anger you're feeling though, like it wasn't your choice?
No. I think that's also what makes it so intense and blinding, is that I feel like I don't have a choice in anything. Like I was just born into life with like a neglected, abusive childhood, and I didn't ask for that, and it made me turn out this way, and it affects my, how I talk to other people, and it's like I didn't ask for any of this.
Yeah.
So it feels a little bit like I have no control of any outcome.
Yeah, that anger, that feeling of no control, it's really intense. And yeah, it's like, does it sit with you a lot? Do you feel that a lot, like that anger?
All the time.
Yeah.
I think that's why, I haven't even been like trying to be honest, I haven't been doing any of my schoolwork. That's why I failed one of my tests. And it's just hard to kind of tell the teacher why when they ask like, well, let's talk about this. What's going on? Why did you do so bad? And it's just like more bad, you're bad.
Yeah. Well, do you feel like you're receiving any support systems while you're going through a lot of this? Like, are your teachers being understanding, or are you finding that, there's like, kind of like an outlet to all this like anger?
I guess it's hard because like I'm still being told what to do by so many people, by my parents, by my teachers, and it's like it's so frustrating because I can't do anything about it. Like I can't drop out of school and I can't run away. It's tough. I don't feel like I have anywhere to turn. I just have to like just sit with how upset I am with the world, and I can't change it, and I can't do anything about it, and I just hate that this was like put on me.
Yeah, like that feeling of like, just wanting to like, drop out of school and run away. Like I understand where you're coming from with that. It's fair. That's a very fair response for everything that you've been through, and like wanting to have an outlet that isn't, you know, having to, you know, see your parents fighting or have to protect your sister. Like that's all very exhausting. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's like, why me?
Yeah.
I didn't ask to be born. Like, but I know, you know, I don't know, sometimes I get real upset about it, like, wish I wasn't here type things, but then what would my little sister do without me, you know? So
Yeah.
it's like I said last session, I'm damned if I do and then I'm damned if I don't.
Yeah, and that wish you weren't here type of thing. Can you elaborate on that? Like, what do you mean by that? Just feeling like, you know, just feeling upset, or is it anything like more serious than that, or like, you know, is it just?
I think sometimes it can get more serious, but it's like overall a sense of like, I wish I didn't have to be a human that felt so much all the time, like so many emotions. Like if I didn't have any emotions, life would be so much easier.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Yeah. And, you know, just for the sake of making sure that you're safe at home and that you're feeling safe with yourself, like you would tell me if you were thinking of hurting yourself.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
I would tell you. I'm okay. I'm not doing any of that.
Okay, just making sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that is a lot of heavy stuff to carry, and that's really exhausting to have, you know, kind of a sense that if you're in like fight or flight all the time, like you feel like you're always holding something heavy, it's hard to function throughout, you know, throughout the day. And it sounds like that's kind of what you're telling me.
Yeah, that's exactly how I feel. Like I'm not functional. Like I feel like a dysfunctional human. Like I'm not. My brain doesn't work the way it should. Like again, I just don't feel normal. I don't feel like everybody else. It's like,
Yeah, like that isolation and like that sense of not being understood. It's something that we all, you know, long for. Is just feeling like someone understands us.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's definitely a crucial part of like feeling like you're succeeding and like your success at school, I'd imagine, is feeling like someone believes in you. Yeah. It's a lot.
I feel like, yeah, I mean, my parents are so focused on their own recovery and trying not to relapse that success to them is just like, your life good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's nobody to push me. My little sister looks up to me. Like, everybody expects all these different things from me, but it's like, what about me?
Yeah, like it seems like you have a very protective way about you, and like, you know, you like to protect others. Like it feels like you have to like take care of others and make sure they're safe, but no one's looking after you.
Yeah. And like, I think that's all I wanted. So it makes me mad that like, I guess I don't have that, or that people don't show me that, or it's like, you know, I see my classmates, you know, post on Instagram like, oh, you know, family vacation at like the Bahamas, or like their parents took them to Six Flags or something. I'm like, I want that. Like it feels so unfair. Again, I'm feeling angry again.
Yeah, it's like, why can't that be me?
Yeah.
No, it's definitely, maybe we can just, you know, take a minute to kind of just sit with that and, you know, think of what comes up when you're kind of feeling like that comparison, especially to like other people's parents versus yours. Like think about, you know, how that feels when you're comparing your parents to others, and like, you know, how often you may do it, or like, you know, how that fits into your life, like that kind of theme of comparison.
I think I do it a lot. I think I compare a lot. It's always like, I'd rather be anybody but me, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And it's a very human thing to do. You know, that feeling of comparison.
But I wish like it would just shut up at the same time. And that also makes me angry, because it's like, why is my brain so messed up? Why won't it just shut up? Like, why doesn't it work like everybody else?
And that feeling of the brain working like everyone else's, how do you feel like everyone else's brain works, or how do you feel like your brain, you know, like should work, if you will, you know.
Well, I feel like everybody else at school is kind of like, you know, it's easy for them to talk to others or like make jokes with their friends, or, you know, they can confidently raise their hand in the full classroom and they're not, you know, worried about what people are thinking about them. They can just speak from their heart and tell the truth, and like people, you know, they can make friends easily because it's like they just see who they are, and it's like I want to be that open, but it feels so unsafe to like not be guarded.
Yeah.
So I guess I just wish I was like other people and like had their brain, in the sense that I didn't care so much.
Yeah.
But I care a lot.
Yeah.
Because it's like, how do I not care? Like I said, like I didn't ask to be here, yet all this happened to me, and now I have to carry it for the rest of my life, and I care about that.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I didn't even get a chance to, you know, figure out what I wanted, who I wanted to be. So I guess I get mad and sad when I see other kids at school who can just do that so effortlessly. And it looks like they don't struggle. I mean, I don't know, but.
Yeah, like it feels like all, like, you know, all the stressors and trauma that you've been through, if you would call it trauma, and is that correct? Like trauma?
I guess so.
We can use a different word if you'd like, or if you want to just say, like, you know, a lot of pain that you've been through. But if I'm hearing it correctly, it sounds like a lot of the pain that you've been through is really translating into all parts of your life. You know, like you're not feeling as confident at school, or making friends, or feeling like you have someone at home, you know, to kind of take care and protect you. It sounds like it's bleeding into all aspects of your life. Yeah.
And I just feel like there's no escape. Like I can't, because it's all in here. You know what I mean? So it just feels like I'm never safe, and I just want to let my guard down like other people and other kids. That
feeling of letting your guard down, is there ever anything that you're doing, or like any activity that you're doing that allows you to maybe feel like you're letting your guard down a bit more?
Yeah, definitely. Like when I'm listening to music or playing, it feels like it's like I can actually create something nice and beautiful, and it doesn't have to be ugly or hard or painful or, like you said, traumatic. Like it's just a beautiful sound, it's beautiful music, and that's all I have to worry about. Like there's no like ways I have to be, or like, oh, this person's gonna judge me. It's just like, it's just is, and I guess that's what I want.
No, that makes sense. And like that, you know, that feeling you have when you're making music, has that helped you as much as you'd like, or do you still feel like, you know, you need more outlets to kind of help you work through everything that you're feeling? Like, has music helped you as much as you'd like it to, or?
It helps for now, but I also have this like, again, like impending doom of that, like it's not going to be enough, nothing will ever be enough, and it's just like a lot of like scarcity. And then like, I don't know, musicians don't make a lot of money, and I'm not that good at school. I'm failing some classes and tests, and it's just like, I don't want to end up like my parents, addicts. And it's just hard, where I feel like music helps in the moment, but I don't know, I would like something that's more stable. I've never had anything stable in my life.
And that's, when you said, you know, you mentioned musicians may not make a lot of money, has the idea of what you're going to do after school been, you know, after you graduate, has that been taking up a lot of your time? It sounds like you've been thinking about plans after you graduate, and like what that might mean for you, if you're gonna, you know, maybe pursue music, or if you want to find something else. Like, has that been really something that you've been thinking about?
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about like college applications in school, and it's, you know, they're just teachers freaking out. So about like, you need to do this, this, this to do well in college and in life. And if you don't take it seriously now in high school, you'll be a failure for the rest of your life. And it's like, well, damn. So I don't know. It's just overwhelming, and music's kind of the only thing that I like. But like, I'm not good at school. I don't think I'll probably drop out of college, and it's just like and I want to get out of the house. Like I said, I want to run away if I could, but I can't because my little sister. So I need something stable like college or a good job so that I can move out when I graduate. And music isn't stable, even though it's what I love.
Yeah. That must be really hard hearing from teachers and people at school, like if you don't take applications seriously, then you're gonna fail.
Yeah. I already feel like my life has been a failure. So it's like, well, how much worse can it get?
Yeah.
So again, just angry again.
Yeah. A lot of anger that feels like it like manifests a lot of how you're feeling, except it sounds like music is a good outlet for you.
Yeah.
And like hanging out with, your friend and your sister, we've also discussed is a good outlet for you. Yeah, no, that I know, it sounds like you're in a very, just difficult phase of, being a teenager, and everything already is hard enough without a lot of the stressors that have been put on you by, your parents, and feeling a lot of guilt and anger. And, I just want to like really, recognize and uplift that, you're dealing with a lot at the moment, and a lot more than a lot of teenagers have to deal with.
Yeah, a lot more. And it's just like, I only feel like being an adult and graduating high school is just going to be worse. So I guess I don't have a lot of hope.
Hope? Yeah. Like not much hope for the future? Or?
Yeah.
No?
No, I don't like. I mean, my sister's gonna grow up, she's gonna do her own thing, and my parents are probably still gonna be my parents, and then what's gonna happen next, It's just like a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's a lot to think about. It sounds like you're thinking a lot into the future, like, even years into the future.
Yeah.
Do you ever find yourself thinking about maybe just the near future, or just maybe the next year or two, and seeing where that goes?
I think my near future and like right now is just so uncomfortable that I want to imagine something better in the future, but it's hard to, because everybody's saying, oh, when things aren't going to be as easy when you're an adult. Like, things are going to get harder. If you think it's hard now, just wait. So it just feels like it sucks, and the only outlets I do have, I see in movies, or like I hear from other people that like everything changes after high school. Your friends change. So like my outlets, like you said, like my friend, my sister, are all going to change, and music isn't that stable. So it's just like, even when I try to have hope for the future, that doesn't even feel better. So it's like, I use the future, I guess, in overthinking to escape right now, because right now sucks, but then I think about the future too hard, and then the future sucks.
Yeah, so it's like a cycle.
Yeah, it's like a cycle of everything sucks.
Yeah, no, that's a lot to hold, just really not having much room for hope. It sounds like, you're saying everything sucks.
Yeah. I feel like everybody's failed me or doesn't care to try, so it's like, I feel like hope will fail me too.
Yeah, so are you feeling scared of holding on to any hope?
Well, I guess I'm just scared that it's not gonna turn out the way that I want it to, or it's gonna end up hurting me, or, kind of like, abandoning me.
Yeah.
And I just don't want to deal with that pain, I guess. I don't know if I could take any more pain.
Yeah, no, I mean, It's very fair. That's a lot to hold and digest. I mean, as we, think about everything that you shared with me in this session, like thinking about what's comfortable for you about discussing the future, whether you want to focus more on the near future and that gives you comfort, or whether you're feeling like thinking about the distant future and, kind of trying to make a plan feels more comfortable for you. Maybe we can, just have you think about until the next session, like what feels comfortable to you, what type of future do you envision, like what support systems do you think could stay maybe relatively stable, like your sister and your friend, and we can carry that into the next session.
Okay, I think I can give it a shot. There are things that like I would like to happen. I guess I just have to trust more.
Good. Yeah, that sounds good. Well, thank you, Alyssa, for coming in today.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
Yay.